Alright, hey everyone, welcome back. So we're going to be doing another rinseless wash video here with another product. I just finished wiping down the Impala here with the, I had some wipeout left in the pump sprayer here. I just poured it into a spray bottle and I was using this on interior. So the dilution for this one was 32:1, which was the waterless wash mixture. I believe that's what it states on here. Yeah, waterless wash, 32:1, interior cleaner. So I use it to clean the interior and clean the glass. So for the glass, ideally you want to use 128:1, but I use it at whatever dilution this was, 32:1, and it still did a good job. So I use it on the full interior to just wipe everything down. Topped off the seats with my remaining Geon leather coat, so those seats are good to go for a while. Steering wheel, that type of thing. So I'm letting it air out because the final thing I did on the interior was use this Meguiar's Air Refresher Odor Eliminator. Just to kind of just use this. There was some muskiness coming through the HVAC system, so that's probably telling me that it's time to change out the cabin filter. So I'll order one, change that out. It's due for oil change pretty soon anyway. So I tend to change out the cabin filter on this one at least once a year with the new one. So it's probably that time. But these things work pretty well. They leave this is the new car scent one. And the scent's not going to linger in there for a long time. So a couple weeks and then that's about it. So other things coming up on the channel here. So we're going to be doing the hybrid rinseless wash with the American Detailer Garage stuff on the Grand Prix, and then probably the following week we're going to just use the new Optimum no rinse. This is the latest formula from, I believe it was either 2020 or 2021. I can't recall what it is. Maybe it's 2020, sounds more like it. So this has a new formula sticker. I used this like 10-15 years ago, Optimum no rinse, so I'm curious to see how it's evolved because it's stated to have more cleaning ability than the previous formulation, and so they kind of just tweaked that. So real interesting to try that one out. I haven't used it yet. That was the original product that I introduced me to rinseless wash before I transitioned over to Meguiar's D114, and then I went to McKee's N9114, and so now I get to try these other ones because I'm running low on N914. So that's why you kind of just playing around with these. So we'll try this one next. But up next, in terms of rinseless wash, we're going to be using. Oh, before I get to that, I also picked up the latest formulation of the Art to Shine graphene window coat. All they did was tweak it to have longer durability. So it's now a 2-year coating for glass versus the original one, which is 1 year. One thing to note is that they're still using the older labels, and so it says 1 year durability on the new stuff. And so I reached out to what's his name, Christian, I forget his last name. He told me that they're still reusing the older labels, so this is the new formulation that they're sending out. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you do order one from Art to Shine and it shows up with the 1 year thing on the label, it's the new one. They just haven't received a new label, so we got that going on. I'll probably be putting that glass coating on the Camaro here. I'm gonna polish when I polish the whole thing. I decided to kind of take a step back from polishing because I had to replace the NOx sensors in here and the smog pump that's down there, the secondary air system. So rather than polish it and then come in and do some engine work, because I'm gonna have to probably lean in here because the engine's pretty deep in there. If you look at the LS motor in here, if we look at the LS motor, it sits pretty deep, and I have to take off this cover here to get down below into the NOx sensors, and the smog pump is down here somewhere. So rather than me polishing and coating it, I'm gonna take a step back because I need to get that before this thing goes for smog in November. So I'll be doing that. So we're gonna hold off on this polishing and ceramic coating this, but I can at least do the glass on this one here. So now let's get to the rinseless wash. We're gonna be using Adams Rinseless Wash here. One thing I do want to note is, can you guys see that color that's all brown at the top here? You can see all that. So I don't know if that's normal for this rinseless wash. It's a brand new bottle because I just purchased it, and once you shake it, then it mixes all up. So I don't know if that's normal, and then it goes away. Just kind of know that going in, that if it starts to separate, and like I said, I don't know if that's normal. So if you guys have used this, I haven't used this since it came out years ago, and so we're going to try this one out again. I've used it once. That's why it's down this way. And I noticed that when you save it as your pre-soak, because I saved the leftover in here, number one, it's going to lose its color, and number two, it does that separation with that brown stuff on there. So let's read on what Adams Rinseless Wash is. Adams Rinseless Wash is a super concentrated wash roller that you can use to keep a flawless shine almost anywhere with just a few ounces of the solution mixed into a bucket of water and about 5 or more Adams double soft towels. Polymer technology allows you to safely wash without a hose or running water. Advanced lubricants encapsulate dirt particles, making them safe to remove without causing swirls and scratches. Diluted down to use as a waterless wash spray as well. Common sense warning: dilution ratios are important. See ratios and instructions above. Too much solution and it may leave behind undesired streaks. Too little solution and it may not feel slick enough on the surface to work effectively. When diluting it down into a waterless wash spray solution, use only distilled water for optimum results. And I think that maybe that's why it's starting to separate on there. So it gives you all the whole things here. Inspect vehicle for large dirt particles or grit. Do not use Adams Rinseless Wash for extremely dirty finishes. Again, with rinseless washes, you want to be know when it's time to do a rinseless wash. If you haven't washed your car in a month, a rinseless wash is not the best wash to do it, unless you're going to pre-rinse your vehicle and then you come back with your rinseless wash, because you got a lot of heavy stuff on there. Fill the Adams car wash bucket and grit guard with water. It doesn't tell you how much, so we're assuming it's a 5-gallon bucket. It says pour 2 ounces of rinseless wash into the water. So that's kind of a vague thing. So how much water do you put into your wash bucket for the 2 ounces of rinseless wash? Submerge an Adams double soft towel into the water using towel to mix up the solution. Let it soak for 20 to 30 seconds. Remove the double soft towel, wring it out slightly, then fold it into fourths. Using a top-down approach, gently wipe the towel across the surface. Rotate towel to fresh side and repeat. Work in straight lines. Flip towel frequently to reveal clean sides. Submerge the second clean double soft into the solution after all sides on the first panel are soiled. So set first towel aside. Do not put back into the wash bucket. Continue this process with new towels until the entire vehicle is clean. Clean sections below, mid door level, and wheels last. After all dirt is removed, use a fresh towel to gently buff away any streaks or residue. So again, you don't have to use the drying aid. You don't have to use a pre-soak. I tend to use both. Instructions for waterless wash: it's 1 ounce into 16 ounces of water. Follow instructions on our waterless wash bottle for proper use. So it doesn't tell you how much to put into your bucket, which I have here. It just says to fill it in, fill up with water. I have 3 gallons in there, so I'm going to just go ahead and just use 2 ounces of product here, and just to add it. Now I'm going to make this right now, but it's kind of hot outside, so I'm going to let this sit in the bucket until it gets a little cooler for me to go wash. So 2 ounces is 60 milliliters. So the dilution, if you break it down and you're making 2 gallons of water in there, and you're going to put 2 ounces in there, it's basically 1 to 128. I made 3 ounces, so we'll see how that. I made 3 gallons of water in here. I keep mixing in my units up here. So again, this is 60 milliliters, 2 ounces into 3 gallons of water. We'll see how this plays well, but you're basically doing. You're basically doing 128 to 1. Maybe I'll put a little bit more in here. What does it say on here? It just says 2 ounces in there, so we'll go with 2 ounces in here. So rather than doing a pre-soak and making a waterless wash mixture, the easiest way to do it is just take your pump sprayer, make sure you're clean, dunk it in here, and then just put your solution. I'm going to empty some of it out because I want to be able to use the pump sprayer here to create some sort of vacuum. And so that's going to be our pre-soak. That's the easiest way to make your pre-soak. Just dunk it in there and use that. And then if you have any leftover product, just save it and you can use it for something else. Let me grab this towel to wipe up my mess here. So that's pretty much it for making the rinseless wash. I'm gonna throw this towel in the trash anyway. It's become hydrophobic, so it doesn't hold anything anymore. So that's pretty much it for making your pre-soak into your bottle. That's the easiest way to do it, is just make your solution in the bucket and then dunk your thing in there. So because I don't want to get this full of stuff in here, I'm going to put the thing in there. So this thing does smell good. I'm going to let you know that. Just a quick whiff in here. It does smell pretty good. I don't know what the scent is, but it does pretty good. Now, as far as the drying aid for the car here, when we get to that point, when we do the rinseless wash, and I'm probably going to use multiple towels on this guy because I want to use up this solution for 2 cars. I'm going to use it on the Camaro, and I'm going to use it on the Impala. And on the Camaro, I'm just going to use a temporary spray on here to kind of just buy me time until I'm ready to polish it and ceramic coat it. So we're going to hold off on that, and we'll see what spray I use on it. Now it's time to use. So it's been a month since I used Slick and Slide on the car, and I haven't used any protective products on there in a month. So this is where it comes into a drying aid. Now I could use a ceramic detailer from Geon and stick to the Geon maintenance thing, and you can see that it does separate. So just give it a good shake, and you mix up all that ceramic material in here. So I could use this if I wanted to. The other option is to use Slick and Slide again. This is the same product as Obsessed Crowd's drying aid, topper, or whatever. This is a B&B blended product. You can see it does stain your bottles. So I could use this, and I'll tell you what, these two work very well as a 1-2 combination. So I could use that, or you could use, I'm probably going to use Adams CS3 this time. All-in-one type product here. It's actually a ceramic waterless wash, but people tend to use it as a drying aid as well. I bought this for the person for the Toyota, and then I never saw him again, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep it and use this. So we're going to do this combination here, rinseless wash CS3 and on the car. Yes, CS3 is going to be diluted a bit with the rinseless wash solution on there, but not enough. So it's going to affect your durability, but probably not too much. We're going to use those 2 products there for cleaning a ceramic coated vehicle, and we're going to move on from there. So the next part's going to be me taking all the stuff out there and just clean up the car. Pre-soak, rinseless wash with the multiple towel method here, and come back with CS3 as a drying aid, and then we're going to call it good. I'm going to make another bottle of solution of rinseless wash. I'll probably just use N914 on the wheels, and we'll probably just do the same thing. I'm not really sure yet. Maybe I'll just make another solution of Adams in the bucket. I just want to kind of just use my products up now. The other option is I can make some more wipeout in there. So I got plenty of options to what I'm going to use on the wheels, but it's the same type of process to do those. So once it cools down, I'll come back out and I'll show you the way to do that. But overall, it's a real I can tell you that the Adams Rinseless Wash does a pretty good job at cleaning, but we'll get to all that once we get there. So next up is the actual washing process, and so stay tuned for that, and then we'll do the drying aid portion as well, and then we'll take a step back and we'll look at the car and we'll say, yeah, this car's ready to go. All right, so again, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next part, and be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back. This is a continuation for the Adams Rinseless Wash. So I didn't get a chance to wash it yesterday. I just ran out of time. I was doing some other things. So we're gonna go ahead and continue today, the second day. And one thing I want to mention is that this Adams Rinseless Wash lost its color, and it started to separate in here with the water mixture. So it has a tendency to do that. In here, I can't really tell. Like I said, it lost its blue color in here. So just kind of just shake your mixture if you're gonna let it sit overnight like I did. So I'm gonna pump this. just keep pumping until you can't pump anymore. And it's got that pressure release valve in there, so that's when you know you've reached its max. If you can ever get to that. Okay, so we pretty much reached that limit. There we go, and I can hear it pushing out air through the pressure release valve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just soak, I'm going to do this whole car here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half. And then I'm going to show you another one here. Let me put that pump sprayer down. We're going to do a mixture of hybrid rinseless wash and then just a regular traditional wash. This has Adams foam and wash that I was playing around with. So it depends on how thick you want to go. Just now, the reason I chose to do that is because I had some left over in that bucket here. So we'll let that side set up here. So today I'm using the big red sponge rather than the black one. And again, it's the same concept here. You just take the rinseless wash, and because I was messing around with waterless washes yesterday, I'm only going to do one bucket with the Adams stuff, because I had already, like I said, I was playing around with some foamy waterless washes yesterday on the Camaro. And again, so this red sponge accomplishes the same thing as the black one. Again, just dunk this in here. Actually, I squeeze out too much. Get this bucket out of the way here, and then you just take the same concept. You just, with the foam, and the foam is really there, like I said, it just acts as a scrubbing bubbles effect on here. It will soak a little bit longer than your regular rinseless, but you can use either one. Looking out for a drying aid here. I'm gonna grab my towels. I have some Adams graphene detail spray. I forgot to mention you could use that, but I'm going to be just using CS3 here. This is strictly a ceramic product. And it's a good product. I don't know if any of you have, I don't think I went over that mirror, but I don't know if any of you have used CS3. But CS3 is a great product to use in the Adams lineup, especially since it was tweaked. I think it was tweaked a couple years ago. Leaves the surface slick. and it's hydrophobic. So for those of you that like hydrophobic products, this is going to be one of them. Alright, so it wasn't too dirty. I hit some dirt at the very bottom there. And we'll just come back with a secondary towel just to make sure that we've kind of leveled everything off. That stuff is really nice, man. I'm telling you, the CS3's one of my favorite products in the Adams lineup. It's very user-friendly. These little caked on stuff there. Nice and slick. Like I said, hydrophobic. You're probably, you are gonna impact the durability because it's going over a wet surface, but not by much. So don't really overthink it. Just use it and enjoy. But it's a real nice product from Adams. So that's it for those two variations of the wash. Grab this. We'll continue on with the Adams Rinseless. Let me just rehydrate the So this one's kind of similar to Optimum no rinse when you're using that. Here, we're going to switch over to the foam stuff on this side. To Optimum no rinse. Save the rest for the wheels here. So yeah, this product from Adams reminds me of the Optimum no rinse. You're using polymer technology to encapsulate the dirt. Smells good. Just keeping the thing to kind of point out is your hands are going to smell from this product because it does have a nice scent to it. So just continuing with your wash process. Again, just use whatever method works for you. If you're a sponge person, use a sponge. I'll grab some more. So if you're a towel person, use towels. I like using the sponge because it's, like I said, it's more efficient to use this versus multiple towels. Alright, so it's pretty straightforward stuff. CS3 smells good too. Actually, I'm going to use this dirty side of the towel like I always do on the glass. Now CS3, for those of you not aware, is a ceramic waterless wash product. So it's doing multiple jobs at once. But it makes an excellent topper for your coatings, graphene or ceramic, it doesn't really matter. I forget what the durability, I don't think that they've really stated durability, but the durability is not that big of a deal, because like most spray products, you can just use it whenever you want. Get that thing out of there. You can just use it whenever you want. And you know, comparing it to graphene CS3, regular CS3 is better. Graphene CS3 is prone to streaking. If they can tweak that formula to whatever they did with this version of CS3, Adams would have a hit with graphene CS3, because I think that one is slightly more durable than this one. That piece of rubber down there. Man, this thing's really good. Get that little And so with CS3, as I mentioned here, because it's a ceramic waterless wash, it's also giving me the same, just in case I needed some more cleaning power. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So you can do multiple things with the Adams products here. You can do a hybrid wash, like as showing. If you have foam and wash, you can do typical wash process with the rinseless wash, and then you can come back with the drying aid of your choice. You don't need to use a drying aid, but that's good. The drying aid's going to work just fine within that family. And actually you can use other products as well. I'm just kind of saying, if you want to stay within the Adams family, pun intended, that they have products that work well together, and both of these products are safe for your ceramic coating. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the Adams Rinseless Wash here. I'm going to go ahead and go around the rest of the car here. I'm going to save the foam and wash for the wheels and the tires, and then we're just going to go strictly pre-soak with the Adams Rinseless Wash on the other side of the car. And that's pretty much it. But you can see it does work pretty well, and working, you know, CS3 together, you know, works fine. Like I said, you could use, if I wanted to, I could use the Adams graphene detail spray with it, and you can use this on ceramic coated vehicles as well, wax vehicles, sealed vehicles. CS3 is the same. I just chose to use CS3 today. I could use Slick and Slide as well if I wanted to, but they all work well together. This is the monthly maintenance wash, so it's 7 months in with Geon Synchro. Last topper was Slick and Slide, and that was a month ago. So now this month I just chose to use CS3. We're good to go. Car's looking good. If you guys have any comments or questions on the Adams Rinseless Wash products, go ahead and post down below. If you guys have used this, or if anybody of you have used this, let me know if that the way it separates and it has that brown thing on there. Post down below. I'm curious to find out. Like I said, I haven't used this product since it came out. It came out a long time ago, you know, probably 10-15 years ago in that time frame. So I don't know if they've updated the formula or not in that time, but that's all I have for this. We'll go on final thoughts once we're done. I'll show you what the car looks like once I'm done. All right, so we'll be right back. All right, hey everyone, welcome back. So I'm making the rinseless wash final thoughts like 2 days after, because I completely forgot the day of. I'm editing the video. I was like, oh man, I completely forgot, so I goofed on that one. But pretty straightforward. You know, the rinseless wash did a good job cleaning the surface, so check that box. I felt safe using it. It worked good as a pre-soak, so it checks those boxes as well. Dilution ratio, it checks that box, because I did find on the website that it's 2 ounces of rinseless wash into 5 gallons of water. So it's like 1 to 320 if I recall correctly, doing the Omni calculator. I'll post the dilution on the video, which is really good. From a price standpoint, it's good. You know, it's a 16 ounce bottle as of August 2022. It's $9.99, $10. And for a gallon it's $50. So real good product, and you know, plays well with any of these products. You know, I primarily use CS3 today on the paint. I use a graphene detail spray on the wheels, and I did use Slick and Slide on one wheel, and they all played well together with the rinseless wash. So real good product, definitely recommend it. So if you're looking to try something different than what you're used to, consider looking at this one. I think they did their homework on this one. I think their chemist did a good job with it. You know, I used it when it first came out. Oh man, I want to say like 7-10 years ago in that time frame, but I can't recall what I thought about it back then. But as of today, you know, it does a good job, and it did work good with their foam and wash. If you're looking to do a hybrid rinseless wash, where you're taking a foaming waterless wash product as your pre-soak, and you come back with your rinseless wash. So overall good stuff. Can't really say anything else about it. I think it's a good product. So if you're looking to try something different, you know, consider having Adams on the you know, as an option. You know, there's plenty of options these days, and most of them work really well. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.